What's up, y'all? I'm out here at the range, as you can see back behind me. Been out here all day doing some pretty interesting testing and a few other things. Super nice weather out here, so I've been trying to get everything done that I can while we got such nice weather. I've got a couple more jelly tests planned for today, and hopefully this one right here will be another good 38 special plus P round. So as you can see, the jelly contraption's out here hard at work with the chrono and 2 blocks of gel. Now, like I said, I've done a couple of tests already out here today, a couple 9mm tests, so this far block is pretty full. I'll leave some links up above if y'all hadn't seen those. But this first one up here is completely clear, so we should have plenty of room to get a really good picture of what happens here. As y'all can see also, I'm staying with my heavy clothing barrier that's got the layer of denim, a layer of fleece, and 2 layers of a cotton t-shirt material. Now, like I said, I'm checking out some 38 special, and it's actually one of the rounds that was sent to me by Chris. So again, I really appreciate him sending these my way. This is the stuff from Georgia Arms, 38 special, 110 grain jacketed hollow point plus P. It's saying 1100 feet per second here on the package. As you can see, nice looking nickel plated case there. Just a basic looking hollow point, really semi-jacketed is more what I would call it. I don't know what this projectile is. I don't know if this Georgia Arms molds their own projectiles and swages their own stuff. It's got some really sharp like mold lines, so it doesn't look like maybe it's not a high production kind of thing. I could be just reading more into that than what it is, and it may be just an off-the-shelf projectile. But if any of y'all know, if y'all got experience with this Georgia Arms, let me know if you know what kind of projectile this is. But no matter what it is, hopefully we got enough speed to get these things performing well, and being that it's 110 grain, that's definitely a plus. Y'all know how 38 special can be, especially out of little snubby barrels. It's sometimes really tricky to get a hollow point to expand and get the penetration like it should. Now, they've got these things classified as like a training or plinking type of round, so I'm not sure what kind of performance we're going to see, and I'm really not sure what kind of barrel they intend this to be run out of. So I got a couple different ones here. We're going to try them out of some shorter barrels first, and if we get terrible results here today, we'll see about running them out some longer stuff. But for today, what I got is the Taurus 856 with the 2-inch barrel, and then we got a 3-inch barrel with the Smith Wesson 686 plus here. So I'm really not sure what to expect out of these, especially from these 2 shorter barrels. Should be pretty interesting though to see what they do either way. Let me get this stuff set up and let's check them out. All right, y'all, let's see how fast these Southern 38 specials are moving. I'm gonna do a 5-round average from each barrel length. We're gonna start with the 2-inch Taurus first. Remember, the package on these was saying 1100, and again, I seriously doubt we're gonna see that from this 2-inch, but let's see what we get out of them, y'all. Got 1,003. Nothing on that. 1,010. 1,035. Nothing on that one. Was that my last one? I believe that was the last one. Yeah, let me go get a couple more rounds. All right, let's see if we can finish it out here. Got 946. And 1,028, so definitely not what I feel like plus P should be. Now, they're over 1,000, so that could be a good sign. But let's go down there and check the average out. All right, so our 5-round average right there was 1,004 feet per second. One of those was a little bit low, so it got us kind of a high extreme spread, but 1,004 feet per second, I mean, that's along the lines of most 38 we see out of this little 2-inch, but plus P, I mean, I've seen some plus P stuff that's way hotter than that. It's really gonna come down to what this projectile is as far as this 2-inch, but let me get this reset and let's check out the 3-inch. All right, let's see what the old 3-inch S&W can do. I really don't expect a whole lot more from this, honestly, but let's see what happens here. Got 1,033, 1,066, 1,078, 1103, and 1,074. So we kept climbing higher there for a second, but then went back down. Most of those were right under, had one right at that 1,100. Let's go see what that average is. All right, so our 5-round average that time from the 3-inch was 1,070 feet per second. And like I said, I seen one that actually hit 1,100. So 1,070 on this 3-inch. And if y'all remember on that 2-inch Taurus, it was 1,004. So you're talking about 66 feet per second from 1 more inch of barrel. So that's probably about right from what I've seen from most stuff. 66 feet. I mean, that's less than 10%. So there shouldn't be a whole lot of difference here in the gel, but sometimes we've seen, you know, less than 100 feet per second make a difference. But I'm very curious to see what happens. So let me get this reset and y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's Peach State jelly time. I'm gonna put one round from each barrel length into the gel, starting with this 2-inch 856 first. Let's see what this thing does. Like I said, I'm not really feeling the best about this one, but hopefully it proves me wrong. All right, that should have been a good hit. Let me go down there and see what I got. All right, y'all, unfortunately, we didn't get any surprises down there with that one. It didn't do very well, like I pretty much figured it wasn't going to. So let's see what this extra inch does. I don't think this extra inch is going to do much for it either, honestly. Hopefully I get proven wrong on this one, though. Let's see what we can do with it here. See if I can stay out the bottom. All right, that should have been a good one right there. Let's go down there and check it out and see what we got. All right, let's check out what we got down here, y'all. So I made the comment that these wasn't looking too good, and honestly, after looking at them now, they're really not all that bad. You know, even the one out of 3-inch arguably did a pretty good job, and even this one down here out of the 2-inch, now it's probably over penetration for a lot of people, but y'all know me, that doesn't really concern me, and I guess I really need to keep in mind that I'm looking at 38 special here when I'm talking about the performance. So obviously up top, that was the one out of the 2-inch barrel Taurus. You can see it comes in here, got some decent little bit of disruption. Now you got a little bit more right there. If I was guessing, that's a tumble right there because nothing else looks like it would have tumbled. So decent little disruption here. Now after that, it's kind of just a straight line on through this first block into the second block. And there you see the projectile looks like it went maybe 3.5, 4 inches into this second block. And it's actually sitting backwards. Now the nose of it is kind of smashed a little bit, but nothing that I would call actual good expansion. And then of course on the bottom, that's the one out of 3-inch 686. Kind of the same story here. Now there does look to be a little more disruption from this one right here. If you discount this bigger area right here where I'm guessing it tumbled, the rest of it, you actually got a little bit more disruption from this one. So after that though, pretty much the same kind of story up until around this point. Looks like it starts slowing down and gets some more drag for whatever reason. And it actually just barely poked into this second block and rebounded right back to the edge of this first one. And looking at it, it's hard to really tell. Now I can tell you for sure it's got more expansion than this other one did, but still I don't think what you really should get and what it's actually capable of. So as far as the penetration here, the one out of the 2-inch 856, we're out here at 20 3/4 inches of penetration. And then the one from the 3-inch 686 is, like I say, it went into this second block about 1/4 of an inch, and then it's rebounded right to the edge of the first one. So here's your closer look of the disruption here. Like I was saying, if you discount this bigger area right here and just look at the rest of it, you can definitely tell there's a little more disruption out of this extra inch of barrel. Now that right there, like I said, that's got to be a tumble. As you can see, if you follow them on through here, the 686, the 3-inch stopped right there. You can see it poked into that one just a little bit, and then that 856 kept on going, and it's right there sitting backwards. And like I said, very, very little of anything that I would call expansion. All right, let's check out these projectiles, y'all. So obviously right here, this is the one out of the 3-inch 686. This is the one out of the 2-inch 856. Big difference between these two, as you can see. The 856 clogged up with that cloth big time. You can see it just packed down in there, so it just could not open up. Maybe the little bit velocity that was lacking over this one caused that right there and just couldn't get it to spread out and dump that cloth out. But whatever the reason, it definitely could not get through that cloth. That cloth had its number as far as this 2-inch barrel. And this one here out of the 686, a different story, as you can see. Now it got some expansion for sure, not as much as it is capable of getting and is designed to get. That's very obvious, but I'm guessing that little bit of extra speed was enough to get that cloth dumped out of there in time to get it some expansion. As you can see, well, you probably can't see, but this disruption in the gel, just little nuanced things you can look at as far as where more cloth is at in the track. You can just tell that this dumped that cloth out earlier than this one did. So you you got the expansion out of it. Now, as for the measurements, as far as the weight, they both started at 110, obviously. This one here, out of that 2-inch 856, is actually at 110.8. So maybe a little bit of the cloth there. Could be just some tolerances in manufacturing. This one here, out of the 686, is actually at 110.4. So both of them actually just a hair over what they're claiming to be. And then as far as the sizes, this one here out of the 856 just barely got any more than it started with. You got 364, 368, and 362. So like I said, really nothing that I would call expansion. You got a little bit of flattening and mushrooming, but that's about it from that one. And then this one here from the 3-inch 686, you got 460, 466, and 461. So some really symmetrical expansion on this one, but just not a whole lot of it. And that's gonna do it for the Georgia Arms 38 Special Plus P. Really not as terrible of a performance as I originally kind of jumped to conclusion about. Now, nothing to brag about by any means, especially this one out of the 2-inch. It would more than likely do the job you needed it to do, but this is nothing I would choose to run out of a 2-inch. And even this 3-inch is really nothing to brag about. Now, it did a perfectly acceptable job if you ask me. Penetration was just where you want it. Expansion, definitely a little bit short, but it allowed it to get that penetration that you need. So really neither one of these is anything I would go rushing out to get to load up. Now they did, like I say, on their website, they have these classified as training and plinking type rounds, so I wasn't expecting any kind of stellar performance out of them. So I guess with keeping that in mind, these really didn't do absolutely horrible. All right, y'all, that's a wrap for the Georgia Arms 38 Special Plus P. This one's a little bit tough to call for me just because of what this ammo is listed as being. Like I said, not to make excuses, but they do have it listed as range and plinking type ammo. So the ammo that they have listed as sure enough self-defense stuff could be a lot better than this. It's really hard to say. But just based purely on the performance out of these two rounds, they're definitely nothing special at all. And as far as Plus P, to me, Plus P needs to be faster than that. I mean, that's just a fact. I've tested 38 Special Plus P, especially some Underwood stuff that had that little 856 breathing like a fire-breathing dragon out here. But I guess all in all, if you can pick this stuff up pretty cheap, it's not really bad. I mean, it got, especially out of that 3-inch, it got almost perfect penetration right there. The expansion would be plenty fine to get the job done with that, I believe. So, like I said, if you could get this stuff cheap enough, it's really not absolutely horrible. Now, that 2-inch, I'm sure some people would say that's a complete fail, and I would call that a fail too. But again, if it's cheap enough, it's really not completely terrible. But let me know what y'all think about it. As far as 38 Special Plus P, do you think this lived up to that Plus P name? Do any of y'all out there use stuff from Georgia Arms? Have you used some of their stuff that they call self-defense ammo? Let me know down in the comments if you've got any experience with them. Like I always ask you, if you did enjoy this video, take a second and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, and make sure you got your notifications on so hopefully you get notified when I upload new stuff. Take a second if you would and check out those affiliate links in the video description. If you shop through Amazon, hit up my storefront link first. You go right through Amazon just like normal from there, and anything you buy after that, I get a kickback from them towards the channel. Same deal with the axle links. If you're looking for some really nice ear pro, check those links out down below and you can save a pile of money instead of going straight to their site. Like I always tell you, I appreciate all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all out there for showing support the way y'all do. I've got tons of really good stuff headed your way, so be on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.